A single act of good can go a long way. It can cross oceans, cure disease, and create equality. As members of Rotary, we are people of action, and our actions have the power to speak loud and clear. Our vision and commitment to finding solutions provides access to high-quality care so vulnerable mothers and children can live longer and grow stronger. Rotary members worldwide work to improve maternal health and reduce child mortality by increasing access to essential medical services and implementing life-saving programs. We're providing comprehensive maternal care, preventative screenings, and family planning that empower women and girls to take charge of their own destinies. Our efforts aren't just changing lives. They're saving lives and strengthening families by training birth attendants, providing prenatal care, newborn immunizations, and facilitating mobile health clinics. Thanks to Rotarians like you, patients are receiving the practical and compassionate treatment they deserve so that babies are born safely into the arms of healthy mothers. Your contribution keeps mothers and babies far and wide connected to a world of good. Every gift is an action that speaks volumes in delivery rooms, communities, and across continents. Learn how you can support the cause that means the most to you.
And welcome to the Rotary Club meeting of December 16th, 2020. Our president will not be with us today, so as president-elect, I'm going to be not only stewarding the meeting, but also running the board. So it's going to be kind of wild and woolly as I work through stuff that's going on. But our first order, hey, you know what? Today's meeting is going to be really interesting. In addition to our guests, we're going to change things up a little bit. And our Fast Craft Talk today will be given by Jennifer Jones. She's a member of the Rotary Club of Windsor, Roseland, Ontario, Canada. But more importantly, in 2022-23, she will be Rotary International's president. She's the first woman president of our organization in its 115-year existence. She's the founder and president of Media Street Productions Incorporated, a 25-year-old award-winning media company in Windsor, Ontario. And she's been involved with Rotary not only as a Rotarian, but as a trustee of Rotary Foundation, a Rotary International Vice President, and co-chair of In Polio Now, as well as Making History Today campaign. So she'll be doing the Fast Craft Talk via video, but it's interesting and it's fast, so that should be very cool. We're going to jump right over now, and first order of business, if you would please join me in saluting the flag of our country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now we're going to ask Casey, as soon as we can get over to the right screen. Casey, can we get you to do the invocation for us, sir?
Absolutely. Please bow and pay your respects and have a moment of reflection. Almighty God, we know that there is a storm that has encircled the world, and we know that there is strife, hardship, struggle, and calamity around the globe. And yet, Lord, I pray in this moment we would find the eye of the storm. We would find a moment of peace, a moment of reflection, a moment of knowing that we can impact, that we can serve, that we can rise up and make a difference in this world. So, Lord, we gather as Rotarians, as those who have been impacted by something greater than strife and struggle in this world. But, Lord, may we encourage one another now to reach for more, to reach for better, and to reach for hope. We thank you for that, and may we give it away as a gift to all. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you so much, Casey. And so the next order of business is for the Rotarians to make a quick introduction of themselves. Casey, you've been on the floor, so why don't you go ahead and unmute yourself and tell us who you are.
My name is Casey, and I'm looking around the room thinking maybe the rest of our Rotarians got caught up in the storm today. What inspired my prayer going, I think they're all outside, not that we're in the winter months here, because we know that's wonderful. I'm a health coach, life coach, and leadership development trainer. So do a lot of different things and keep myself connected and collaborating with great people like you.
Awesome. Hey, Marianne, can you unmute yourself and introduce yourself for us?
I'm Marianne Kistler. I am a retired banker, and I've been in Rotary for over 25 years, and I love Rotary.
And you're also past president, aren't you, Marianne?
Yes, I am. Thank you, Raymond.
And you know what? You really got that mute button down. You are working that like a professional. I'm impressed. My name is Raymond Foster. As I said, I'm the president-elect, also past president of Rotary, and I am the current public image chair, which makes me the face of Rotary, which, well, that could be sad for us, couldn't it? So we have two great guests today, and I'm excited to have them here. So let me begin with their introductions. First, you'll see there on the screen is Camille Salinas. She is a lodge and outreach educator for Southern California with the Masonic Homes. She's been there for 4 years, and she works in the Department of the Masonic Outreach Services. She is a fellow from the Trojan, from USC. She's got a master in social work there. And not only that, she's a field supervisor for the USC intern program. And they're at the Covina Homes. They're going on their 15th year of hosting USC interns. So fight on, Trojans. Thank you for joining us today, Camille. And also we have with us Lisa. Lisa Goodwin is a licensed clinical social worker with over 30 years of experience providing direct practice and program management in nonprofit organizations serving children, adolescents, and families. She has been a director with the Masonic Center for Youth and Families since 2016. And when she was hired to help launch and oversee the Covina Masonic Center for Youth and Families Clinic, her professional calling is to help distressed children and families lead lives of dignity and improved health. Lisa's specialties include family preservation, maternal and child health, and children's intensive community services to emotionally and behaviorally disturbed children. At Pacific Clinics, where she served 11 years as program director, she delivered innovative leadership supporting the provisions of effective evidence-based treatment for children, for families impacted by trauma. Her experience includes serving as an instructor and leadership consultant at Pacific Clinics Training Institute and has served 5 years on the National Alliance on Mental Health Board of Directors. She has an MSW from the University of Washington. Are you beavers up there in Washington? What are they?
Huskies.
Huskies, that's it. Oregon, they're the ones that have the beavers. And she has a BA in social work from Bethel University. She is licensed by the California Board of Behavioral Sciences and a member of the National Association of Social Workers. Thank you so much and welcome to Rotary. The floor is yours for the next 20 minutes or so.
All right. Let me share my screen.
Oh, Camille, we can't hear you.
Oh.
No, that's good. Now you're back.
Okay. Perfect. I believe, could I share my screen, Raymond?
Yes, you can. I just enabled it. Awesome.
Fine. All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. As Raymond said, my name is Camille from the Masonic Homes, my department being Masonic Outreach Services. I just want to say thank you for inviting both me and Lisa and really spreading, kind of the services that we have to offer. And kind of the highlighted programs and services that I really want to highlight from my Department of Masonic Outreach Services assistance line that's going to be available for both Masonic and non-Masonic affiliated members, as well as the Masonic Value Network as well. That'll be everyone else into the community. That's why I'm really glad that Lisa's joining to talk about the Masonic Center for Family, which is also open to both Masonic and non-Masonic.
Camille, yes. Is it just me or Shake Heads people? Your sound is fading in and out very badly, and I don't know what we can do about this.
Okay, I'm sorry. Could you guys hear me right now?
No, it's just like fading in and out, and there's like sounds like somebody's hitting a snare drum in between when it fades out.
One thing I've heard, you could try this, is that if you don't have not enough bandwidth can affect this, if you turn off your video, the voice sometimes will get better.
Oh, okay.
Just we want to see your face, but if they want to be able to hear you, you could try that.
Okay, is this better?
You're still fading in and out.
Okay, how about
I'll tell you what, let's try this. Can we jump to Lisa for a bit and have you sign in and out, Camille, and see if you can get a better connection when you come back in? And then we'll jump back to you. How's that sound? Okay, so go ahead, Lisa.
Another option, if that doesn't work, is she could call in by phone as a last resort. I know many times people have had to do that if their internet connection is too shaky.
Okay, so go ahead, Lisa, you've got the floor.
Okay, well, I'm honored to be here today and meet all of you and be part of your Rotary meeting today. I am the director of Masonic Center for Youth and Families. We're located in Covina. We also have a clinic up in San Francisco. And Raymond, will you be able to pop up use the shared screen and pop up the PowerPoint presentation that I had emailed? It's not required, but it's helpful. It has some images that can help demonstrate what I'm talking about.
I don't have it. You sent me one file, but I did not get that one.
Okay, no problem, no problem. We'll just go with me describing it to you, and I can send you another copy if you want to distribute it after the fact. And then actually that might be nice. People will have our presentation in writing. It's a PowerPoint. It has our contact information and some pictures of the clinic. So we are a youth and family therapy clinic, and we have been in existence for about 10 years, first up in San Francisco and more recently in the last 4 years in Covina. And we provide youth and family counseling, couples counseling. We provide services to the broader community, primarily the San Gabriel Valley, and also to senior Masons and their widows, and Mason-affiliated families throughout the state. Really what our goal is as a center is to help children, young adults, and seniors live lives of greater health and happiness, and really to help them reach their full potential. Some of our values are, we're really committed to excellence, affordability, and accessibility. So in terms of excellence, what we offer is our therapy is provided entirely by a very experienced licensed clinicians. And so these are psychologists, marriage and family therapists, and licensed clinical social workers. And what that means is the people that come to us for counseling can count on the fact that they're very experienced, they're dedicated, advanced professionals in their field, and they're equipped to work with a wide variety of challenges and problems. Another of our values is accessibility. And so we are operating on the campus in Covina, and people come to the clinic under normal circumstances for services, but during the pandemic, we converted in the middle of March to working remotely and providing our counseling services via telehealth. Now, telehealth is actually a well-researched and well-received form of counseling. It might sound a little odd if you're not used to it, but for many years it has been shown to demonstrate nearly equal kinds of effective results with people needing counseling. It can take a little bit of getting used to, but it actually does have some advantages in terms of convenience. For example, if people live farther away from the clinic and it's hard for them to get there, perhaps they have busy schedules, 2 working parents, kids with different activities, it can actually make it more workable for them all to participate, say, in a family session or for a youth and their parents to be able to to be able to accommodate a weekly therapy session into their schedule. So we are providing our services via telehealth during the pandemic, but we expect that we'll actually, for some people whose preference that is, be continuing it beyond after we are back on campus when the pandemic is over with. We are a kind of a unique organization. Our funding is through, we are a private nonprofit organization. Our funding is through the very generous help of the Masons of California. Well over 100 years ago, they set up an endowment for the exclusive purpose of helping widows and orphans, helping. Now what that equates to is distressed youth and their families. And so this allows us to be able to really fill the gaps, to serve the community. Many members of the community would not be able to otherwise access services if it wasn't for the sliding fee scale that we're able to offer. And so when people come to us needing help, we simply ask their household income and we set a fee that's going to be very affordable to them. And so we really try to not turn anybody away due to inability to pay. As far as accessing services, we like to keep it very simple, very easy. We don't want people to have to jump through a lot of hoops. Really, all they need to do is contact our clinic, call our clinic phone number, and I'll give that to you. That is 626-251-2300. Again, that's 626-251-2300. And what you would do is leave a message on that line, and within 24 hours, one of our access coordinators will contact you, the caregiver, or adolescent or young person, and do a brief screening. What we do in that screening is just find out a bit about what your need is, what your family's need is, and determine that what your need is can indeed be met by our clinic. If what you need is not what we can provide, we make sure that we will provide you with referrals to other services in the community that could better fit your need. After that screening happens, what we do is identify one of our therapists who has an opening at a time that would be convenient for the youth or family, and set up what we call an intake appointment. And that would be usually about 90 minutes long, and it involves a very thorough assessment of the situation and what the needs are, and then the therapy continues on from there. And again, we want to make it very focused on what the family needs, what's going to be most convenient and most helpful to them. And this is a very collaborative approach that we use. So we don't see ourselves as advice givers or directors, but more as coaches, guiding and helping and supporting that youth and that family to achieve the goals and overcome the problems that they're experiencing. I also want to emphasize the importance of confidentiality. So a lot of times people have some hesitancy in talking to somebody outside their family about their personal struggles, because what about my privacy? Is anybody else going to find out about this? And we take confidentiality very seriously, and it's only with somebody's written consent that we would contact anybody else or share any information, such as with a doctor or another family member or somebody else who might have need for that information. I also want to emphasize some of our specialties. We have all of our therapists have specialized training in evidence-based practices, and what that means is they provide therapy that is researched and has scientific evidence behind it as being the most effective therapeutic approach for that type of issue. And we are also what's called trauma informed. And so what that means is we create an atmosphere and a service and an experience for the family that is going to be respective of and recognizing of the kinds of trauma they may have experienced and how that may be impacting them. And that will allow them to have a much less distressing, more relaxed, greater ability to fully engage in the process, and and not be as fearful or as triggered by their previous adverse experiences. Part of the reason that we are so focused on trauma is a large part of our work is done in a partnership with the Children's Advocacy Center. Now, you may have heard of the CAC or Children's Advocacy Center. Those are in existence throughout the country, but in LA County, there are several of them. And the finest, I believe, is the one right on our campus across the street from MCYF. And what the CAC does is they do multidisciplinary, it's a private public partnership where they do multidisciplinary child abuse forensic interviews. So these are child victims of crime that come in and they are interviewed by a DCFS work. It's a partnership between the Division of Children and Family Services, the law enforcement, and the DA's office. And this is done in a way where children who have been abused don't have to go through a really prolonged court process that further traumatizes them through having to, share their trauma over and over and over. At the CAC, what they get is a therapist who's specially trained in forensic interviewing. Interview them, it's taped, and that's sent. That's what's used for the prosecution process. Now, the folks that are victims of crime, of course, and are interviewed at the CAC are in desperate need of getting therapy for what they've been through. And so the CAC refers those families over to us. And I would say approaching almost half of the families that we serve are referred from the CAC. Now, the cost of those services actually isn't covered by the endowment. It's actually covered by the California Victims of Crime program. And so that allows those victims to get all the counseling services that they need to overcome the trauma that they've been through. A couple other services I would like to mention that we offer in addition to the counseling. Currently out of our San Francisco office, not out of our Covina office, but we do offer psychological testing as well as educational therapy. And we do periodically offer workshops and groups. We're looking at beginning some teen groups in January. And those are support groups that can be a very effective way of young people making changes and benefiting from a group experience with their peers. I just think I covered most of it, and I think we have some time for questions at the end, but I just want to emphasize the quality and the dedication that any families, any youth that come to our center, they can count on. They will be served by very, very ethical, very talented clinicians who will give them the best opportunity to reach their potential and have a good quality therapy experience. So thank you very much, and feel free to identify any questions you have, and I think we'll have a few minutes after Camille's talk to address any questions.
Thank you so much, Lisa. That's exactly what we'll do. Camille, how's your sound?
All right, how do I sound now?
Oh, you sound much better.
Awesome. All right, I apologize for that tech issue. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay.
Excellent.
Awesome. All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. As Raymond mentioned, yes, I am from the Masonic Homes, my department being under Masonic Outreach Services. I just want to extend our appreciation. So thank you, Raymond, for inviting myself and Lisa. I will go over primarily the two programs and services that are going to be available for both Masonic and non-Masonic members. I'm going to be highlighting which is the Masonic Assistance Line and also the Masonic Value Network that's available to everyone. So before I jump into highlighting those two programs, this is a snapshot of overall what's under our kind of Masonic relief programs. So at the top is the Masonic Assistance. Masonic Assistance Line is the go-to first step to access any of our services, of whether it's application to get into homes, to get into any of our outreach program services, or even if you needed to get redirected to the Masonic Center for Youth and Families, which is the department, we're also able to guide you guys through it. So with the Masonic Assistance Line, a lot of the phone calls we really get is for the Masonic. The Masonic homes are two campuses. We have a northern and southern location, up north in Union City, down south in Covina. And that's really where our seniors, want to live in these lovely facilities that we have for them.
Camille, you're the fading in and out is it's just not working.
Still fading. I'm on my hotspot too.
Is it possible for you to try to call in on the dial-in number and we coordinate the sound that way?
Okay, yeah, let me go ahead and do that. Let me grab the number then.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Yeah, let me call in then.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's go back to Lisa. Does anyone have any questions for Lisa while we're waiting for Camille? If not, we'll move forward in the meeting and wait for Camille to come back on.
Excellent improvising, Lieutenant Foster.
Yeah, well,
under these kind of conditions for sure.
yeah, we were all tap dancing these days. So I'll tell you what, let's fast forward this in the meeting to the Fast Craft Talk, and that's going to be delivered by, as I said, Jennifer Jones, and I'm queuing that up. I'll give me just a moment. And here we go.
The simple truth is a good speech is about telling great stories. It's about putting forward the human face and making the emotional connection. It's about stepping back and looking at situations in each of our lives and the lessons that they provide for us. And then it's about sharing them. Imagine if we could engage our 1.2 million members as the greatest storytellers of our organization. Everything we do as Rotarians affects our image and our brand. And quite simply, our ability to tell our story in a compelling way affects every day how our organization is perceived. 30 years ago, I sat in a church pew and watched with open eyes and a malleable brain the guest speaker at a service celebrating community. 30 years ago, I was a young teen with little idea about my future career path. The speaker, Detroit news anchor Mort Krim, was a towering presence to me. And as I listened, his words unknowingly began to mold my future. I admired how he spoke with integrity. I embraced his words, filled with respect. And I listened intently to the message that he delivered with great love. How is it that someone can impact another person so decisively? I know the answer to this. It is through the power of our words. That's what I want to talk with you about this morning. The creation of Rotary moments and telling our Rotary story. Who in this room doesn't have an amazing Rotary story? Each and every one of you has experienced the joy of a Rotary moment. It's now taking it to the next step and understanding that when you share these stories, that you can change people's lives. When the simple and the ordinary collide with intention, it becomes extraordinary. So what stories are you going to tell? And how can you share them?
And that's Jennifer Jones, who will be our president of Rotary International in 2022-2023. And I think those are very powerful words about sharing the story of Rotary or the story of any organization that you're you're working for. So let's see
I've
now.
always been a strong
Let's see if we can get Camille on the
Rotary
line
for
here.
polio eradication program.
There we go. Camille, are you with us?
Yes. Hello. Can you guys hear me now?
Yay! Okay.
Right. Third time's a charm. All right. Let me get back onto my presentation view. All right. And I believe this is where I left off, correct? And please feel free to interrupt me again in case if the sound quality is bad again. I really do apologize, everyone. So like I said, this is a snapshot of all kind of the service and programs that we have to offer. So up top, as you guys can see, is the Masonic Assistance Line. Masonic Assistance Line is really the first step of how to access any of these programs that you see, whether it's assistance in application to the Masonic homes that we have, or any of our programs and services under my department, MOS. And then also, if needed, we also redirect calls to the Masonic Center for Youth and Families, which is Lisa's department as well. And really, the services you guys see here, a lot of the phone calls that we get through the Masonic Assistance Line is for the Masonic homes. That's really two beautiful senior community campuses that we have. So up north, the location is up in Union City, and down here, down south, is in the city of Covina. Under my department, Masonic Outreach Services, we serve both family, young adults, and also older adults, because some of our seniors, they choose to not want to live at the Masonic homes, and they choose to, live either in their home or a different community. And that's completely fine, and that's where we're still able to help and assist and support them. And so with that, we have for our seniors, so the Masonic Senior Outreach Services, which is MSOS. Then for kind of our younger, Masons or families that we have MFOS, which stands for Masonic Family Outreach Services. Other two programs that we have within my department is a Lodge Outreach Program. That's really where we work. I work with almost all of the Masonic lodges in partnering and really helping do outreach efforts. And one of the newest programs that we have under my department is actually the Shared Housing Program, which is it's located actually at the Covina Masonic Homes. And it's for those who choose to live on this campus, but it's kind of also like a roommate co-housing living situation, which is great because for Masonic brothers, this gives them an opportunity to still socialize and engage and also be active in a community as well. And then as you guys know, Lisa did a lovely presentation already on the Masonic Center for Youth and Families. So with the Masonic Assistance Line, this is our 1-800 number. We are also available via email, which is masonicassistance@mhcuc.org. If you are a Mason, this hotline is actually located behind your Freemasons due cards. If not, this is really the 1-800 number that we put on all of our brochures, our pens, our bags. And what's really great about the Masonic Assistance Line is that you do not have to be a Mason or have a Masonic affiliation to call for information and referrals. So this is a really good community resource hotline for anyone to use, for you guys to also refer to, whether it's your neighbors or your church friends or other friends. Please let them know this is a great resource hotline to access. And so with the Masonic Assistance Line, what do you typically expect? So it really ranges from 20 minutes to an hour. The reason why that really varies, it depends also, what kind of service or program that you're looking for. Typically, if it's the information and referral service, which is accessible to everyone, our Masonic Assistance Line staff really gives 3 resources per caller. But, if any of those 3 resources don't work out for the caller is more than welcome to come back and give us a call, and we're able to give them, different resources to access. What our telephone consultation really evaluates is, what are your primary concerns? any, basic background information that we should be aware of. Also with our Masonic Assistance Line, they evaluate really your current living situation. If you are, applying for any of our programs for the Masonic Homes or to be on our Masonic Senior Outreach or Family Outreach program. Really assessing and prioritizing, safety is our number one as well. So identifying any potential risks and immediate needs that need to be met. Also, our Masonic Assistance Line, they really utilize any financial assistance programs that are available and are very knowledgeable in public benefits programs as well. So it's a really great resource of, they have a great resource of knowledge throughout the entire state of California. And even if it's out of state, they're happy to do that research on their end. And so, like I said, usually for the information referral service, it's typically a quick phone call. The ones that typically tend to be longer is if you're applying to our programs, just being that we need more additional in-depth information and additional documentation and an application for that process. So typically when you do call the Masonic Assistance Line, you will get automatically directed to voicemail, but please don't be discouraged. The reason why we have that in place is our Masonic Assistance line, actually, we average out about 250 calls a month. So it's quite a busy number, but also we have a small and mighty team who are, definitely calling back in such a really quick and timely manner. They have at least a 24-hour turnaround or sooner once you leave that voicemail. And when you do have the opportunity experience to talk with our Masonic Assistance Line, you will have an uninterrupted phone session and we'll never put you on hold. So just pretty much when you do call the Masonic Assistance Line, just leave your name, your number, what assistance that's needed and the best day and time to reach you, and they'll get back to you in a really great, timely manner as well. And so one of the second program I'm going to highlight too is our Masonic Value Network. So what is the Masonic Value Network? This is a network of care-related providers that can meet our members' needs. It's also available for the community that include assisted living communities, in-home care providers, and we also have a pharmacy discount program. Why we designed this network, it's designed to help our members and also non-members conveniently and independently research the access care in their community in California and beyond. I know for our department for MOS, we definitely, use a specific, care providers, certain assisted living communities. So we really wanted to embed them. And by doing so, this is how we created the Masonic Value Network. I do remember as well, if you actually are a Mason, there is, they can work a type of discount as well. But also if you're not, this is also a great, resource to definitely access for those who are looking into, placing their loved ones in a different senior care community. And these, like I said, are embedded with us that we worked with for a amount of years and, have really great experience from working with them. So to really access the Masonic Value Network, you can go to the website directly, which is masonichome.org/mvn.html. And that will just pretty much pop up, all of the care providers that we worked with our department and also with the homes as well. And, like another thing is just calling the Masonic Assistance Line as well, that they're also happy to do that as well to give you that type of resource. And here's just my contact info. This is my email, my work cell. And I really appreciate all your guys' time for listening and your patience and working with me through this crazy tech day that I'm having. So I want to leave it open if anyone has any questions for either myself or Lisa.
I'll tell you what, let's move the meeting. Thank you so much, Camille, and also Lisa. Very informative, especially on the things that can go on with the community. I sincerely appreciate that. Let's move through the meeting. We'll have a little bit at the very end if we have questions. And that brings us to Casey, our fine master.
All right. Well, in our Rotary group, what we do is we fine ourselves because we want to talk. So, Rotarians and guests today, this is how it works. If you'd like to say something, you can tell everybody here why it's fine. You find yourself to say why it's fine. You can find yourself to say why somebody else is fine, or you can find yourself to tell us why it's not fine. We charge a higher dollar value for you to complain, which is the third one, but feel free to give us a shout out. Tell us what's fine, who's fine, or what's not fine. Who would like to start us off?
You know what? Okay, go ahead, Mike. I'll wait.
Sorry, whatever. But no, I was just, I'm going to find myself $5 today. I'm fine because yesterday I bought the last gift on my Christmas list. And so, you know, that's probably a new record for me, 10 days before Christmas. I'm actually done. I have some wrapping to do, but yeah, feeling some of that pressure going away now that that all the friends and family, everybody's already shopped for.
Mike, we'll double that fine unless you can tell me what you got me.
So, Casey,
Go for it, Raymond.
I'm going to go for $5 also, $5. Because I think it's fabulous, the ones who showed up today. It's a week before Christmas, the middle of the pandemic, all that's going on. But a couple of us were still able to get here. And the fact that we're able to archive this and put this information out into the community and also then put it on the community television station, we're continuing to do a service to the community, and that's worth $5 for me. So there you go.
Absolutely. Any guests who would like to find themselves, you can use Monopoly money or make a donation to the Rotary. Feel free to tell us what's fine, who's fine, or what's not fine. Awesome. Back to you, Raymond.
Okay.
I'll also just make a note that the Wallace household is fine because we're 2 days away from Christmas vacation, winter break, a much needed break for my wife.
Awesome. Okay, so quickly, our Action 360 updates on what we've got going on. Update on the teacher mini grants. I know that we've gotten about 9 in. I sent emails out on Sunday evening to all of the district and to McKinley and Holy Name. I got emails back that they will remind their teachers the cutoff date is the 21st. So that's moving along very well. Update on the 4-way speech contest. We need to put up the $300 fee, but we have a board meeting before the cutoff, so I'll bring it up then, and we need to decide on the prizes. And then next week, Casey, I will begin to move forward with scheduling some of these things we wanted to do. I've just kind of been waiting to see what's going on with things, but that is moving very well. Next is the food drive we've got coming up. We're doing in cooperation. This thing is taking off like wildfire. The Facebook event has had 2,186 interactions with people, and we've got 59 people who said they're coming already, and we just put this out. We have 5,000 door hangers, the back of which highlights the Masonic Lodge, the Dimas, the Rotary, and the Salvation Army, and we've got the volunteers to hit the community with 5,000 door hangers. And this flyer will be going out to the chamber and every student in the school district, and then I'll be sharing it through the people we've had as guests as well. So the committee met, and it's looking very good. Yes, Mike.
Sorry to interrupt. When will the volunteers be going out and doing the door hangers, and do we need more volunteers for that?
We do need more volunteers, and you notice we've got 2 chairs, Ryan Vienna and Caden Gutierrez. Caden's a 19-year-old. He's about to go into the Navy, but his report date is after this food drive. And I got to tell you, Ryan showed up, Ryan Vienna, and just took the bit, and he's doing a lot of work for us, and I really appreciate that. Caden, as soon as we have the door hangers in, Greg sent them to the printer yesterday. As soon as they're in, we'll select a date and we'll let everyone know. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand out as many as you want, designate an area, and allow you to do it between now and January 17th at your leisure, rather than have a single day that we do it. So that's kind of the plan. So that's the update. Anything else on the food drive that we want to talk about? Awesome. Okay, so
Sorry, on the food drive, I keep interrupting you, but on the food drive, is there going to be any sort of central location early drop off, or is it only the 17th, the day of?
only the day of, but what we do have on that flyer, I'll put it back up because this is important. It's one of the oh, I dropped the flyer. One of the Masons has agreed to coordinate pickups. And so what we're putting out is if somebody says on Sunday they want 2 grocery bags picked up on their front porch in the San Dimas area, we'll also be doing that. We don't have an early drop-off place. And by the way, it's canned goods, dry goods, which includes rice, beans, boxed cereals, those kinds of things. So we anticipate a lot of need. And we had him on at the committee meeting. This Salvation Army in Pomona is no longer in business. And so Ontario takes them, and they do from Azusa to Fontana, and they've got 950 families a week that they're feeding. They give them 5 meals for the entire family. And they also do homeless sack lunches in the double hundreds digit every day. So they're very busy there. And they don't need pet food, if anybody asks. We've already asked that question. Good questions, Mike. Anything else on that? All right, so we're going to do the 4-way test thing, which is a little different this time. And then we're going to move into, see if we've got any final questions. I actually have 1 or 2 I'd like to ask of our guests. So I thought this was interesting as a 4-way test.
What is Rotary? Rotary International is an international service organization whose purpose is to bring together business and professional leaders in order to provide humanitarian services, encourage high ethical standards in all vocations, and to advance goodwill and peace around the world. It's a secular organization open to all people, regardless of race, color, creed, religion, gender, or political preference. There are over 34,000 clubs worldwide, and over 1.2 million individuals called Rotarians have joined these clubs. The Rotarians' primary motto is service above self. Rotarians usually gather weekly for breakfast, lunch, or dinner to fulfill their first guiding principle: to develop friendships as an opportunity for service. Interested in joining Rotary? Then please visit Rotary.org and go to Club Finder on the menu. Or you can click the link below to learn more about your Rotary Club.
You do not need to go to Rotary.org, man. You go to sandimasrotary.org and find our club to become a Rotarian. And I got a question for Lisa. I know that you've got another meeting to go to. We've all switched over to a virtual format. All of us have experienced stress in our lives, and particularly we see it in our family members. What have you been to see with people, and can you offer any quick advice on maybe helping us through the pandemic, to the end of the pandemic, hopefully?
Yes, we have definitely seen pretty much all the people that we serve being affected by the pandemic. As we know, this is a collective trauma across the world. So it's people, by and large, are feeling a little more anxious, a little more sad, even some to the level of diagnosable depression, low energy, boredom, of sleeplessness, increased addictive behaviors, whether it's, emotional eating, resuming drinking or smoking, even if one had given that up. Just a general kind of sense of dread and sadness, I would say. Now, that we've been talking about that regularly in our what we call case consultations, which is when all the therapists get together and talk about our biggest challenges and struggles we're having as we carry out our work. And we're continually in conversation about how we can support the individuals, the families, the seniors we serve. And a lot of it is really through listening, through support, through encouraging one using one's own strengths, one's own coping skills, or teaching them new coping skills to find a way to just persist through this, to rise above it. You know, there is a Yale professor that put out a little video, a 5-minute video that I've actually become very fond of. I've shared it with a few clients, and I could probably send you the clip if you'd like. And it seems really basic, but she gives the five most important strategies for wellness and for coping in maintaining your well-being through stress. And those 5 would be what sounds, again, very simple, what your mother probably always told you to do, but important to really reflect on and identify. If any of them you aren't doing on a regular basis, you can improve your well-being by focusing more on them. So that would be these things. It would be exercise, practicing gratitude on a daily basis, maintaining good, what we call sleep hygiene, that's sleep habits, making sure you're getting enough sleep, maintaining and keeping up your social connections, and finally, accepting your feelings, allowing yourself to have the emotional experience that is natural, that is happening to you. And that's not necessarily to give in and indulge to the most extreme of emotions that might take you down, but honoring and respecting that you can let yourself have your emotion, and it doesn't have to destroy you. It's not something you have to medicate or stuff or avoid or talk yourself out of. And so those are 5 strategies that sound really simple, but I actually reflect on them on a daily basis and go, okay, where do I need to put a little more energy? And for me, one of them actually is connections. It's like it's easy to get a little isolative under these times and not do the awkward phone call or what often feels an awkward Zoom chat. But I've pushed myself and I found a real benefit when I do it. So that's a long answer.
But do send me that clip. And as you were giving your first part of your answer, it tailed for me into your last part, which was, well, wow, everybody feels like this. So this must be normal to feel like this, which means it's okay to feel like this, which means, oh, this doesn't feel so bad. And I really appreciate you saying that.
Exactly. Therapists call that normalizing. And in that, instead of asking, what's wrong with me? Why can't I handle this? Well, there's nothing wrong with you. We're all going through something very distressing.
We're all bailing the boat at the same time. Does anybody have any questions? Well, thank you so much. It was a great Rotary meeting today. Oh, we got to do the calendar real quick, and then we're going to go, and then I'm going to let all of you go.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, you want the clip also, Glenn? I will send that out and make sure that we get that to everybody. And let's go over the calendar really quickly. Okay, so we are dark the next 2 weeks. Thank goodness for me. I don't have to do any of this stuff for 2 weeks. So on January 6th, though, we're going to pick up with Parker Emerson, which is Project Shelter Box, which is that fabulous program that Rotary is very deeply involved in, which is creating those essentially lifeboat kits for people when they're in disasters. After that, on the 13th, we'll have the Salvation Army come in from Pomona to tell us about the services, well, actually it's Ontario, that they're providing, which will be the Wednesday before the 17th, which is a Sunday, which is our food drive for the Salvation Army. We have scheduled now on the 17th the 4-way speech contest. We have ended our first 9 months as a virtual club. We've had speakers from Africa, Middle East, from other places around the country. So I need your ideas on who we got to begin to schedule in January and February and March so we can keep this up. That's it. Any final comments before we close out the meeting?
Just a quick comment as far as social interaction. Even though we're going through the pandemic, a lot of us are still really busy, in our day-to-day lives, although virtually rather than physically running around. And the Rotary meeting every week for me is something that I almost kind of dread because it's on my calendar and I have this momentum of work that I want to get done. But every time that I attend, I feel so much better afterwards, and I thoroughly enjoy the social interaction that I get from the speakers and from my fellow club members. So I just want to thank everybody for providing that for me.
Well, you're welcome, Mike. I feel the same way. Okay, well, that's it for today. And thank you so much for attending the Rotary Club of San Dimas meeting for December 16th. Everyone, stay safe.